This is the Shrimp Trawler video channel Strat-O-Matic Baseball Excel Game of the Week.
Welcome back, baseball fans, to the Game of the Week 1977-80 Fall League. Wildcard playoffs are here. We've had one game, and it was a stunner. We saw the number 5 Seattle Mariners defeat the number 4 Boston Red Sox in Fenway Park. Oh my goodness. Seattle has to wait and find out who they play. That's determined by this game, where the number 6 Orioles face the number 3 Milwaukee Brewers in County Stadium in Milwaukee. And this is pretty. Let's go take a peek at the standings, just as a refresher course here about realignment. So, the old American League East used to have 7 teams. You had your Red Sox, you had your Orioles, your Yankees, and they added the Blue Jays. But you had Cleveland, Detroit, and Milwaukee were also in the same division. Well, Cleveland and Detroit headed out here to the north, along with a couple expansion teams. And going to the Midwest was the Brewers. The remaining teams were all Western, old American League West teams. Angels, Rangers, A's, along with the expansion Mariners. Then, of course, the Twins, Royals, and White Sox. So the Brewers are all by themselves. They're the only team from the East, united with 3 teams from the West. And in this era, separated from not having to compete with the Orioles, Yankees, and Red Sox, who dominate in this timeline, they set their sights on George Brett's Kansas City Royals. And it'll be Robin Yount versus George Brett for the next decade and more, as their careers overlap pretty close. But in this particular year, Yount got the best of Brett's Royals, which is disappointing for Royals fans. But they'll have 3 more years with George Brett's 390 card to correct for it. So the Brewers, happily out of the American League East and thriving many years before 1982, which is the year they go to the World Series, Harvey's Wallbangers. But in this early celebratory period, from 77 to 80, with the Brewers hoisting a division title, oh boy, folks, they go back and have to get past an American League East team in a wild card game. Winner take all, one game, the Orioles and the Brewers. Now, in the year of 1982, these teams met on the final day of the season to determine the American League East. The Brewers won that game in Baltimore and went on to the World Series that year. But this is, between 3 and 6 years prior to that, depending on how you want to look at the timeline. So today, from County Stadium, Milwaukee, we will have, for the Orioles, Dennis Martinez gets the start. Palmer was not available. He pitched the final game of the regular season. He needs some rest. And they did not want to throw one of their 2 lefties, Mike Flanagan and Scott McGregor, against this incredible Milwaukee lineup that destroys left-handed pitching. So Martinez gets the nod. For the Brewers, it's the American League Cy Young winner, Mike Caldwell, having an amazing year. And let's go take a peek at the stats just again here. For pitchers in the American League, how do they... Oh, look at that. He's at the top. 7-0. .83 ERA for Mike Caldwell. They weren't going to risk pitching somebody else in the wild card round and not have this guy continue. So you have to get through Caldwell to eliminate the Brewers. Teams have been loading up their lineup with right-handed pitchers all year. Take a look at the Caldwell card. There's the Caldwell card. Teams have been loading up with right-handed pitchers versus this starter 9. It has not mattered thus far. And the Orioles are no exception. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9 of their 9 hitters are right-handed, with including switch hitters, with the lefties Lowenstein and Mason on the bench. I like that pregame, actually. It was pretty intuitive there. Let's get started from County Stadium. Orioles at Brewers. Leading it off for the Orioles, Paul L.D. Blair. 34 is hit by the pitch. He is a C-stealer. Ashby, though, he's got a -1 arm, so he'll sit there. At first, it's Mark Belanger. 59, second C. Runner goes to second for Ken Singleton. 58, fly ball left. And with 2 outs, it's Doug DeCinces. 63, bouncer to short. This is Robin Yount, a 2E34 at short. And he makes an error. Ooh. Where is that? I was about to say to get out of it. That happens. So runners in the corners with 2 outs for Eddie, Eat, Drink, NB Murray. 6'10" off Caldwell is center X, but this is Gorman Thomas. Outstanding. I think people forget how great a center fielder he was. A 1E4 in center field. And he had the speed of a gazelle out there. Big man, long strides. All right, bottom of the first. Paul Molitor leads it off for the Brewers. 1-7, let's take a look at Molitor's card. Again, don't have to wait to 1982 for these guys. Happens sooner than that. This is a 79 Molitor card. 322. And 1-7 is 111 of 17. He gets a single, though, so he has to hold it first. Now, the Brewers attempting to steal off of Rick Dempsey, who has a -2 arm. I don't think so. I'll hold it first. Brian Asselstein, the left fielder, 4-4, short X. This is not what you want to do. Hit a ball to Mark Belanger. A 1E14, which is almost an automatic double play, and there it is. And with 2 outs, Sixto Lezcano, 6-11 is a strikeout. We go to the second. Lime will lead it off for the Orioles. 2-8 is a K. Carlos Lopez, 56. A bouncer to short. Yount again, 2E34 makes the play. Rich Dower, 48 is a base hit. And with 2 outs, the man on first, it's Rick Dempsey, 66 off of Caldwell. Skies to right field. We go to the bottom of the second in Milwaukee. It's Cecil Cooper. 35, single, 1-2, 13 is a base hit on a 10. And here he is, folks. Crowd's going nuts. Robin Yount, the star of the franchise. 4-11 off of Dennis Martinez. A bouncer to first. Another black hole for defense. A 1E10. Don't hit it there, Milwaukee. And that's a GBA. Oh, wow. A couple singles, a couple double plays. Not a good start. Alan Ashby, 1-6, K. So the American League East Orioles are showing their old divisional resident what it's all about here. Third inning. Paul Blair, 2-10 is a single. On twice today. Mark Belanger, 4-5. Off of the Caldwell card is double 1-9, single ... And he rolls a 1. He gets the double. It went down the line. You got runners at second and third, nobody out. I think they're going to play back with nobody out here for Singleton. 47 off of the Caldwell card is a single to left field. Now Belanger, 16 runner. Asselstein, -1. He has to run on the 15, even though he probably shouldn't. But he has to. He's being waved in, and he's thrown out the plate. This is what I call a home field advantage. So all 4 teams have to run on the road. It's like the third base coach is not quite as experienced with the ballpark. And even if the odds say go for the big inning and don't risk an out, Belanger runs to the plate. He is thrown out on the roll of a 20. And the Brewers have an out. So, 1-0. Singleton's at first with 1 out. Doug DeCinces. By the way, home teams can use discretion and say, I don't want to run, or I want to run when I don't have the legs to run. It's something that I do for all home teams, whereas the road teams, it's a static number. So here's Doug DeCinces, 46. Again, a single off of Caldwell, off his card. Singleton can hold it second. The 14 rule doesn't apply going from first to third. So you've got runners at first and second with one out. Haven't registered an out in the inning yet as far as hitting. You're 4 for 4 and 5 hits overall. And here's Eddie Murray. 2-9. Let's take a look at Eddie Murray's card from 1979. 295 with 25 home runs. 2-9 against the lefty is a single to left field. And Ken Singleton, now here you go, he cannot run. If I wanted to run him, I cannot. He's a 12 runner. Has to be a 14 or better to run. So, after 5 straight hits, the bases are loaded with 1 out and 1 run in. And it's Lee May. Now, I could bring the infield up here to cut the guy down at the plate, but Lee May hits into a tremendous number of double plays and does not have a ground ball B on his card. So they're going to play it back, look for a double play from Lee May. Here's the pitch. 49 off of Caldwell. This is what I talked about. But it is single one, line out to second, and they get the line out. So they've been denting that column, but they rolled the 9 that time. And Caldwell magic here in the 3rd inning, which could be a huge inning, could be a big bust. It's Carlos Lopez now. The base is loaded and 2 outs. 68 is a liner to short, and that's exactly what it is for Brewer fans. They are loving it. 5 hits for the Orioles. They only get a run, and it's 1-0.
You've got mail.
Uh-oh, got some mail. All right, bottom of the 3rd, Gorman Thomas. 1-9 is a strikeout. Ken Boswell, 68 is a single. Sal Bando, 46 is a K. And with 2 outs, it's Molitor. 5-10, center X. Now Blair is a 1E13? Yes, a 1E13. Don't know what all the drop fly balls are about. He caught that one. So the Orioles, not the Orioles, the Brewers, all their X's have been hit at 1s in the Oriole defensive blueprint there. A 1-0 game in the 4th. And here's Rich Dower. 59, rounds the 2nd. Rick Dempsey, 110 is a single. Paul Blair looking to get on for the 3rd straight time. 62. First C. Dempsey gets to second base with 2 outs, and it's Mark Belanger. 4-10 is a pop to first. Bottom of the 4th, it's a 1-0 game. Brian Asselstein, 47 is a walk. Sixto Lezcano, 58, skies the center. Cecil Cooper, 211, first B. Runner at first with 2 outs for Robin Yount. 47 Yount is a strikeout. Dennis Martinez, 3 singles and a walk through 4. We go to the 5th. 1-0, Ken Singleton. 1-6, let's take a look at Ken Singleton's card. His big 1977, 328 with 24 homers and 107 walks. 1-6 is homer 1-16, and it is gone. And Caldwell, this inning, is up 1 run on 1 hit. 2-0. It's Doug DeCinces. 57 is a K. Eddie Murray, 111, rolls a short. And Lee May, 511, second X. Molitor's a 2E20. Oops. And he makes the play. Orioles have a 2-0 lead going to the bottom of the 5th. Let's pause a moment for station identification.
This is the Shrimp Trawler video channel.
Este es el canal de videos de camaroneros.
All right, bottom of the 5th. Alan Ashby, 2-3, rolls a second. Gorman Thomas, 57 Ks. Ken Boswell, 67, single 1-6, rolls a 4 and gets a base hit. And it's Sal Bando with 2 outs. 67 is a walk. 2 on, 2 outs for Molitor. Saw the card earlier. The biggest threat thus far for the Brew Crew. Here's Paul Molitor. The pitch. 66 is a roller to second. Now, Dower is an excellent second baseman, a 2E8. But he makes an error at the worst time. A 2E8 error off of Rich Dower here in the 5th. That loads the bases for Brian Asselstein. Well, let's take a look at this guy. So you're probably wondering, what is Brian Asselstein doing in the Brewers? Well, they needed a free agent left fielder. Obviously, they're going to upgrade this position in the future years with perhaps Ben Ogilvy. But they platooned Brian Asselstein, who came out of the Atlanta Braves system, with he platoons in the left field with Hector Cruz for this season. But he walks enough to bat second and get on base. So here's a big at-bat with the bases loaded and 2 outs for Brian Asselstein. Here's the pitch. 69 is a base hit in a center field. 1 run scores. Sal Bando is thinking about it. He's a 13 runner, a 14-15 runner. Blair has a -2 arm. It's 1-13. But guess what? I'm the home team. I could do what I choose. And I'm going to say, let's run the 13 runner, even though Loscano's up to tie the game. So we are going to try and advance Bando on a 13. Here is the run around third base, and he scores on the 9. So some fortuitous rolls in the advance column for the home team, not the road team. And that is a tie game. So with a runner scoring on the throw, it means Paul Molitor ends up at third base. You've got runners on the corners with 2 outs in a 2-2 tie, and Sixto Lezcano. The pitch to Sixto. 69 again off Dennis Martinez. He falls apart here in the 5th as a base hit to right field. Asselstein, well, 14, 15, 16, but Carlos Lopez is a -3 arm. He'll hold a second. I don't like getting thrown out third base. They have the lead. The Brewers have a 3-2 lead with 2 on and 2 outs. And Cecil Cooper. 210 for Cooper is a sky to center field. And the home team Brewers have played this game the way it's supposed to. They've been efficient on the bases, scoring 3 unearned runs, while the Orioles waste base runners. And a great performance from Martinez is suddenly trashed here in the 5th. And Mike Caldwell is your pitcher record, going for his 8th straight victory in the 6th inning. Here is Carlos Lopez leading off for the Orioles. 46, a base hit off that 4 column. They've been denting that today. All right, now it's Rich Dower. A chance to redeem himself after that error in the 5th. Great hit and run guy. He will do exactly that. Hit and run, roll of a 6, moves the runner in a scoring position. Now you have Rick Dempsey. 43, rolls it to first. This is Cooper. Got some great defensive first baseman. Actually, Cooper is low. He would become a 1, but this year is a 2E22. So not nearly as good. And that is an error. Nearly as good as Ed Murray. So that error will put runners in the corners with 1 out. And with Paul Blair and A. Bunter up, Brewers are going to move the infield up. A whole lot of strategy today in a winner-take-all game. Up and hold, Paul Blair, the A. Bunter. Here's the pitch to Blair. 6-10, center X, off of Gorman Thomas. Great chance to get a fly ball 8. That's not a sac fly when you have a 1 center fielder. He's a 1, and that is exactly what happened. The 1 center fielder, you get a fly ball 8, most of the time on 1s, not on 2s, 3s, and 4s. So Gorman Thomas, great play there. And with runners on the corners and 2 outs, it'll be Mark Belanger. 33 is a grounder to third. What a competitive and fun game we got here. 3-2, Brewers Orioles. The Brewers are trying to get out of the shadow of the American League East and knock one of those teams out. Bottom of the 6th, Robin Yount will lead it off. 1-2, pops to third. Alan Ashby, 2-5, grounds to second. Gorman Thomas, 37 is a walk. And Ken Boswell, 1-6. Let's take a look at Ken Boswell. Another strange occurrence seeing these guys playing for Milwaukee. A free agent acquisition. They just needed to get an extra left-handed bat on the bench, and they decided to load their lineup up with lefties against Dennis Martinez. That's why Asselstein and Boswell are playing. Asselstein has a 2-out single, and now Ken Boswell gets his 3rd straight hit out of the 8th spot of the lineup. 2 on, 2 outs, and here's Sal Bando. This could be it for Dennis Martinez. The pitch, to Bando. 63, rolls to first. What a great playoff the game this is. 3-2 in the 7th inning. Mike Caldwell's a starter 9. Brewer bullpen. Back end is pretty good. McClure and Vukovich. The long men, not so much, but we're beyond long men at this point with Caldwell out there. Ken Singleton, 2 for 3 with a solo homer and another RBI. The pitch to Singleton, 2-5 is a walk. Doug DeCinces. 3-6. Let's take a look at Doug DeCinces' card. This is his 1978 card. His last productive year in Baltimore before he has a back injury and slumps, and then he returns to form in California by 1982, taking them to the ALCS against these Milwaukee Brewers. But 3-6 is a 2-run blast, and the Orioles take a 4-3 lead. Caldwell stunned here in the 7th. Now, I understand he's put a lot of guys on base, but as far as pulling a 7-0 pitcher who seems to have a lot of luck on his side, no chance. He's going to pitch through the 9th unless he gets seriously broken, which would be like 15 base runners or something total, something like that. So here's Ed Murray. 1-8, grounds to 3rd. Lee May, 1-6, grounds to 3rd. And Carlos Lopez, 1-4, grounds to short. 3 straight guys are out. Now the Orioles have a chance to bring in 1 defender here. Should they like. John Lowenstein's a good left fielder. And they can pull Lee May out of there. So Lowenstein will go into the left. Singleton goes to DH. Stretch time here in Milwaukee. We have been listening to, don't lie to me, Keep an Eye on the Sky, a Big Star compilation, 98 songs, about 5 hours of Big Star, probably 7, 10, 11 versions of 13 are on here, In the Street, you know, India songs, stuff like that. Just countless demos, reissues, and so forth and so on. And some live takes, might as well. Throw that in there. Could only find 98 songs. They were probably disappointed they could not get to 100 for the prolific Big Star. Okay, bottom of the 7th. Now Dennis Martinez. He is a starter 8. And if he will pitch to Molitor, if he gets him out, we'll see. Don't want him to lose. We'll take him off. We'll get him out of there so he cannot lose. We'll have him pitch to righties, including Paul Molitor, to lead off in the bottom of the 7th inning. 63, rolls to first. We'll pitch through to Lezcano now, which means he's going to go through Asselstein again. 38, Asselstein is a K. And with 2 outs, it's Lezcano. 1-5 is a grounder to short. He extends his stay. Now, that Baltimore bullpen is much better. Tippy Martinez, Don Stanhouse, Tim Stoddard, all 3 of these guys were Baltimore closers at various times. They also have Clay Carroll, very old Clay Carroll, filling out the 4th spot. They acquired out of the Reds. Interesting acquisition there. We go to the 8th inning. Mike Caldwell, not going anywhere. Rich Dower, 1 for 3 today. 54, pops the 2nd. The Dipper, Rick Dempsey, 1-6 is ball 4. Now you have Paul Blair. And finally, you start to see warming in the bullpen. So Blair is much better against lefties, as is Belanger. But I don't know. I don't take Caldwell out in a 1-run game. It's only 4-3. And Blair and Belanger are still pedestrian hitters against lefties. Let's take a look at him. Here's Paul Blair. Let's take a look at his card. You see he's much better against lefties. Oh, by the way, this is actually him on the Yankees in 1977. So we kept him on the Orioles for a year, an additional year to his Oriole tenure. And he will bat here again. He is 1 for 3 with a run scored and a walk. 58, flies a left. And with 2 outs, it's Belanger. Let's take a look at Mark Belanger, always on the team because of the defense. He actually has a pretty decent on-base percentage against lefties. Hit .213 in 1978 for the Orioles. Today, he's 1 for 4. The pitch to Belanger. 2-5 is ball 4. Now it's getting exciting here, folks. It's Ken Singleton, Mike Caldwell. Hard place meet rock. Rock meet hard place. Mike Caldwell, 2 on, 2 outs. He's a starter 9. If Singleton walks, that still doesn't score a run, and it still doesn't break Caldwell. Then you got the Sensei up next, who hits lefties better than righties. So this could very well be the final batter for Caldwell. 2 on and 2 outs with the pitch to Kenny Singleton. 4-4 off of Caldwell. Oh no! Homer 1-7 double. He misses the homer, rolls a 9. That is going to be a double. 1 run scores. Belanger's going to try and run again. 16, 17, 18, -2 arm off of Gorman Thomas. And he scores on a 13. Was that the move? Leaving Caldwell in against Singleton. I know there was a base open. It was third base. Traditionally, you don't walk a guy and load the bases unless it's second and third, and now they have a base open for DeCinces. But I'm thinking you find a righty who gets righties out, and let's just do it. So after 6 runs, we're going to take Mike Caldwell out of the game. 7 2/3. Hate to see it, but kind of went with him a little bit too long. He actually had given up a lot of hits today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 hits. Went with him a little bit too long. We're going to go to Pete Vukovich, a guy who would eventually anchor the Brewer rotation. The Brewers are so deep in starters that Pete Vukovich had to be used in the bullpen. He comes on in the 8th to face Doug DeCinces with a runner on second and 2 outs. 2-8, DeCinces off his card, single to center field. Now Singleton, 12, 13, 14, -2 arm, cannot run. The math there says 12, so he has to be held up. Even if you want to run him, you cannot, based on these rules. So it's 6-3 with runners on the corners. And it's Eddie Murray, who's actually better against lefties this year than righties. The pitch to Eddie Murray, 54, is a sky to center. This is the great center fielder, Gorman Thomas. So, the Orioles do take a 6-3 lead with 6 outs to get. But the Brewers have an incredible offense. And if you get to a point where Tippy Martinez comes into the game as a lefty, they destroy lefties. So this could be a whole lot of Stanhouse, Stoddard, and Dennis Martinez here in the bottom of the 8th inning. You have a lefty Cooper leading it off, but you also have a 3-run lead. Then you have Yount, Ashby, and Thomas. If the first 2 guys get on, Martinez will be gone. So, Cecil Cooper will lead off the bottom of the 8th inning. The pitch to Cecil. 58 off of Dennis Martinez is a sky to center field. He is a starter 8. Robin Yount, not having a good day. 0 for 3, a double play and a strikeout. 3-6-0. Robin Yount gets on with a base hit. Now it gets interesting. You got Ashby, Thomas, and Boswell. You got this bullpen. You should use it with a 3-run lead, and they're going to do it. They're going to pull Dennis Martinez. So they are proactive in the 8th inning, unlike the Brewers. They're going to go to their bullpen, and they really like this Tim Stoddard guy. Don Stanhouse walks a lot of batters. I don't like to bring him in the middle of an inning when there's guys on base. But Tim Stoddard, if you take a look at the Tim Stoddard card, you see he's very good against lefties. 2 of the next 3 batters are lefties. So he will come on in the 8th inning. with a runner at first, being held on base for Alan Ashby. The pitch to Ashby. 48 off of Stoddard is a walk, and the tie run is Gorman Thomas. Let's take a look at Gorman's card, folks. 1979, 45 homers and 98 walks. My goodness. Probably the best chance of any American leaguer to tie a game up down 3 in the 8th is Gorman Thomas with one swing of the bat here. So here we go. The pitch to Gorman Thomas. 1-5 is a strikeout. And with 2 outs now, you have the 3-for-3 Ken Boswell. Oh, you know what I want to do, though? I'm going to do it, folks. So I'm pinch hitting for the 3-for-3 Ken Boswell in the bottom of the 8th inning because on their bench, ladies and gentlemen, George Scott. Take a look at George Scott. 33 homers on your bench for the Milwaukee Brewers. On your bench. I mean, the homers, this is silly. I mean, you have Lezcano at 28, Cooper 13, Yount 23, Thomas 45, Bando 17. George Scott's on the bench to start the game because Dennis Martinez is weaker against lefties. But Stoddard is pretty good against lefties, so George Scott will pinch hit with first and second and 2 outs in the 8th inning. The pitch to George Scott. 2-7 is a strikeout. And for those wondering, it's a ground out for Boswell. We will go to the 9th, a 6-3 game. And they're actually going to pull Vukovich because the Orioles' next few batters are weak against lefties. So they're going to go Bob McClure, their closer, in a 6-3 game in the 9th inning. Lowenstein, Carlos Lopez, Rich Dower, Rick Dempsey. Here is John Lowenstein leading off in the 9th. 4-4 off of McClure, triple 1-5 single, and it's a base hit. Carlos Lopez. Lowenstein has to be held on. He's a B stealer, but he's not going to steal. Carlos Lopez. 2-8. That is a base hit because you have to hold the runner on. So a humongous break for the Orioles. They get a base hit on a ground ball because they're holding the runner on. And you got runners in the corners with nobody out. They got to bring the infield up for Rich Dower. The pitch to Dower with the infield up. 3-6 is a ground ball to short. Gets the runner at first. Runner at first goes to second. Second and third for Rick Dempsey. 62 grounds to first as well. And with 2 outs, it's Paul Blair today. He was 1-4 with an run scored and a walk. We could overmanage this thing and go back to a righty. But let's just let him pitch to Blair here. With second and third and 2 outs in the 9th inning. The pitch to Paul Blair. 2-7 is a grounder to short. So, nice recovery from McClure. He keeps his team into it, into the bottom of the 9th inning. 6-3 game. You have Bando, Molitor, Asselstein, and Lezcano. Here's one thing I know. Sixto Lezcano will not face Tippy Martinez in the 9th inning, regardless of what the heck happens, as he absolutely crushes left-handed pitching, as does Molitor. Frankly, even Cooper does as well as a left-handed batter. So they're going to ride Stoddard as long as they can here, and they might even just go to another righty Stanhouse, depending on... Maybe Tippy Martinez will pitch to Cooper only. All right, bottom of the 9th. Sal Bando leads it off for the Brewers. The pitch to Sal Bando, 2-5, is a grounder to short. Paul Molitor. He is 1-4, reached on an error and scored. Again, he demolishes lefties, so Stoddard will pitch to him. 3-6 is a walk. Now, Molitor runs to second without a throw. No reason to hold him on base, so he's on second base now. And again, I think Stoddard will pitch to Asselstein and Lezcano and then probably Tippy to Cooper, and then Stanhouse after that, maybe. So we'll see. Here's Brian Asselstein. He is 1 for 3 with a walk and a 2-run single to get 2 of the 3 runs in. On the bench, Charlie Moore is available. Charlie Moore is a nice hitter, but frankly, Asselstein is, you know, just as good. So he'll pitch to Brian Asselstein here. The runner at second. 2-4. That's a bad roll for everybody. Skies to right field, and with 2 outs, it's Sixto Lezcano. Let's take a look at his card, and you'll see exactly why I just do not allow this guy to bat against left-handed pitching. The game is on the line. There's no better card in all of Strat-O-Matic than this Lezcano card. My goodness. Absolutely. The absolute destruction of left-handed pitching. So this will be Stoddard's final batter with Tippy to pitch to Cooper if necessary. With a runner at second and 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth, the pitch to Sixto Lezcano. 67 off of Stoddard is a strikeout, and that is your ball game, folks. The Orioles. It seemed like they were going to blow this game after blowing this 3rd inning and having the Brewers come back with 300 runs in the 5th. The tide turned to the Brewers. But the Orioles rallied in the 7th and 8th innings. 2-run homer by DeCinces and a 2-run double by Singleton, and that was it. Kind of a Grady Little moment for the Milwaukee skipper in the 8th, leaving Mr. Caldwell out there too long. But Mike Caldwell was the life and the lifeblood of the team. The Cy Young winner. The biggest reason why the Brewers are here, more than any other reason, is because of Mike Caldwell's performance this year. Tough one to lose. Tough one to lose for a young Milwaukee team who I've said extensively, will only find success once they get away from the Orioles, Red Sox, and Yankees. They could not get away from the Orioles in the scheduling. Had they won this game, they would have played the California Angels in the divisional round, and they probably would have beat those. I'm just guessing. I think they got a better team. And then all the other American League East teams are gone. Unfortunately, though, they could not get past the Orioles today. So McClure in the 9th gives up 2 hits. Vukovich gave up a single. Everything else charged to Mike Caldwell. That's 11 hits and 6 runs. Left him out there too long. Orioles score in 4 separate innings against him. You're looking at a lot of the past success indicating these decisions. If you look closely at Caldwell's card, you know, he gives up a lot of hits to right-handed batters, of which all the Orioles are right-handed. But for the first time in 8 starts, Caldwell finally looked like the pitcher that his strat card suggests. Now, Tim Stoddard gets a 5-out save as one of 3 Baltimore closers, a real strength of this team. A walk and 2 Ks in that inning. Total of 2 walks and 3 strikeouts and a nice save. Dennis Martinez, though, thought he was going to fumble this in the 5th after giving up these unearned runs, but he only gave up 2 more hits in the next 3 innings. Did a nice job for the Orioles. 3 runs, nothing earned, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts. And the Orioles, the more veteran, playoff experienced team, showed their experience today. 6-14, 3-8, 4-2, 5-10, 5-10, 4-2. So what has the wild card brought on other than the away team has won both games? And that's a real shame here when you look at the overall record. It says deserving Milwaukee. Unfortunately for Milwaukee, they had to play a 1-game playoff because they were just a half game behind California out of getting a bye. As well as Milwaukee played, they deserved to get a bye. They wouldn't have had to play a 1 game. But tough break for them. The Brewers, 19-11 overall. What a shame. What a shame. But they're going to be around. This is 77-80, and they're going to have a nice little run through at least 84 with this crew. They're hitting .267 with a .402 ERA on the year. Mike Caldwell finishes 7-1 with 5 complete games. That is just tough right there. Their top hitter, Molitor, 39 for 124. Their top RBI guy is Robin Yount. So Baltimore will continue. The record is not going to be good because all these American League East teams keep beating each other up. The Orioles are 17-14. They're hitting .241, but their team ERA is .309. Before we get to Dennis Martinez, we've got to give a shout out to Tim Stoddard's final 5 outs. Stoddard has given up 2 runs in 13 innings. Stanhouse 1 run in 11 innings. It's been Tippy Martinez has been getting knocked around this year, so it's good he wasn't brought in. Dennis Martinez is 4-4 after that win. And as far as the offense goes, it is Doug DeCinces. He's hit his 11th home run with 30 RBI. However, the batting average is .268. So after this win, let's take a look at the schedule for the American League now moving forward. The Red Sox lose, the Orioles win. The Orioles, as a 6, have to go to number 1, which is here, the Ohio players. In Ohio, in Dayton, the Orioles at Ohio in a divisional playoff series, best of 5. That'll be a lot of fun. Meanwhile, the Brewers have lost, and here we go again between the Mariners and the Angels. We saw them, they played the last series in the regular season. Angels beat the Mariners 3-1. Mariners have a chance to get their revenge in a best of 5, Seattle at the California Angels. And again, just take a look at the Brewer record here. The difference, the Angels were 20-9, and the Brewers were 19-10 before that loss. They just missed out getting a bye, and they would have not had to have faced the Orioles in a 1-game playoff. That's it tonight from the American League Wildcard. Hope you're enjoying the Fall League. We'll see you next time.